Hi. Trying to work this out so you'll see me. This morning I tried to get my wall stretches in beforehand since we've got several videos about that. Wall stretches are something I encourage my students to come and do before class. So 15 minutes before class, you can show up and work on the wall to stretch out your arms, get your shoulders nice and open before we begin. And then we begin class in mountain pose generally and get some neck stretches. So for that, I'll inhale up, exhale, tuck my chin, hang my head, breathe into the upper back and neck. Exhale, releasing tension, feet hip distance apart, bend the knees and start to roll all the way down. Just getting to where you can stretch some stuff out. You can pause anywhere you like, breathing into the areas that you're stretching. Touch the ground, butt down, belly in, uncurling up, one vertebrae at a time. Stretch at the top. You can bring your hands behind your head, stretching open this way, stretching the elbows open, chin in, stretching the head back. Some shoulder rolls. Inhale. Exhale, hands behind you, opening that chest on the inhale. Hands come around like this if possible. Chin in, tall to the crown of the head. Exhale, side of the neck stretch. Releasing the head around and down. Inhaling up. Exhale again, clasping the hands behind you, opening up the heart. Exhaling, hands to the other side, chin in, tall to the crown of the head. Ear over shoulder. Move the head around to get just the right stretch for you. And inhale, stretching. Exhale, releasing tension, releasing your arms, releasing your head around and down. Inhaling back up. You can also do a little side stretching. Inhale and exhale. Great. Little neck circles. Now, the more often you do these, the less time it takes each. So that might have been super fast if you haven't stretched out your neck recently. If you're doing it every day, that's all it takes, a few minutes a day. I think I've got some videos out that have longer, that take longer with all of that. So you can always watch those. Elbows, wrists, feet hip distance apart. You can do hip circles, warming up all the joints before we begin. I like to do this. I know it looks kind of girly and it's not really yoga, but it stretches out my hips. Feet together, you can do knee circles. And then you can stretch your feet. So I'll go like this. You can see I just crack my toes and then stretch like this. Then I'll step back, stretch out the calf. And we naturally find ourselves in our warrior one. So stepping back, tail down, from the hips up, we're in mountain in warrior one. Just so happens that our front knee is bent at a 90-degree angle. The knee is over the heel, not over the toes. So you can see your toes. You can inhale up, exhaling back to center, inhale out, exhaling. And let's inhale up and over to warrior two. Now it will be like this. You can see my warrior two. So warrior one was like this. We just stepped back and our toes and we're all forward, right? This is warrior one. When I went up and over to warrior two, now my toes are still in closer than my heel to my center line, but I've got a wider stance, still bending this front knee forward, but my hips are not to the side. Inhaling up. Exhale, sinking down. Chin in, tall to the crown of the head. You can turn and look over. Still a little bit of neck and shoulder stretches. I could spend more time at the wall. Inhale, exhale, and then inhale, reaching back. Let me see. I come further back. So you can see, okay, so inhale, we're going to reach back and the hand slides down that leg. The other hand goes up. I like to inhale, lifting up, exhale, sinking down. This is a side bend called reverse warrior. If you bring your hand behind your back, you can kind of help keep that tail down, keep an arch out of your low back. I call this one peaceful warrior if you have your hand behind your back like this. And then we're going to reach into side angle. And I found for a lot of my students, it's a struggle to get them to have such a wide stance. And they like to keep just one hand here and do their side angle gently like this. Others like to make a karate chop and come down lower. So your karate chop is right here on your thigh. You're going to inhale nice and long. Exhale, spiraling your heart towards the ceiling. Notice my spine is nice and long, my tail through my crown of my head. As I'm twisting, breathing, smiling. And if you want to, you can even drop down lower for hat triangle. Again, most of my students do not do this, so I try to avoid this in group class unless I have some really fit individuals in there. You can use a block to support yourself in this pose as well. When you have your arm in front of your knee, that helps open the inner thigh and groin. I don't have a block in front of me right now, but we can also put a block in front of us here and then just press open, press the heel of our hand on our inner knee and thigh, opening inner thigh and groin, using your breath. And then we'll swivel back to runner's lunge. Inhale nice and long in your runner's lunge, or your plank, right? Inhale nice and long. Exhale, knees down, and then we call this knees, chest, and chin. We keep our elbows tucked in, chest and chin come down. Then you can push up to a lower cobra. If knees, chest, and chin doesn't work for you, no worries. You can just come from plank and come down however you like. Then we're going to do a nice low cobra. This is where my videography gets interesting. I hope you're all having a good day. I'm going to grab something. I've got this cool yoga inversion bench, and I bought it so I could go upside down more easily on my shoulders, but it also works as a good prop for our laptop. So we're going to get this. See, these are pretty cool. Come to the studio and you can try it out. Now, my yoga flow series, after we do a warm-up salutation, which is gentler, or the one you just experienced, the standing portion of, then we come down. All right, our first cobra of the day, we're going to do low cobra. No, this was low cobra right here, right? This was low cobra. We're sliding our hands out. Even easier is sphinx. Notice my shoulder, or my elbows are right below my shoulders. Shoulders back and down. Heart reaches forward. Tail tucks down to protect the low back. All right, so the shoulder blades are reaching back towards each other and sliding down the back. And with that tail tucked, anchoring at the pubic bone, you're reaching out through the whole front of your vertebrae, front of your body, breathing, inhaling, smiling. And then exhaling, we're going to bring our hands back and do grasshopper to warm up our back some more. For grasshopper, we're going to flex the feet and lift them. It's kind of like locust, if you know that pose. And then elbows in and up, hands lift, heart lifts. Shake out the head to release any tension in the neck. Inhale up. Exhale, sliding the hands forward to seal. Every back bend, we're tucking that tail, or you can picture tucking the pubic bone, anchoring it. Protect the low back, and from there we're reaching out again. Now our back is a little warmer after that grasshopper. Inhale, stretch. Maybe tuck the chin and hang the head, working out any tension in the back of the neck. That feels good. Okay, inhaling up. Exhale, push up position, inhaling plank. Exhaling down dog. In down dog, you're pressing your weight way back. Pressing your weight away from your hands. Your elbows are rotated to where they're pointing down. If you were to bend your elbows a little bit, they're pointing straight down. That wraps your shoulders in a nice way. Again, your weight is as far back away from your hands as possible. I'm wishing I didn't have a necklace on. It's kind of in the way. There we go. Okay, so pressing that weight back. Tail reaches up. You can get up on the balls of your feet. Tail reaches up. And the heels gently reach down, stretching out those hamstrings. Take a deep breath, releasing tension in the hamstrings and the calves. You can even walk one leg at a time in terms of bending the knees. One at a time. You can bend opposite elbow and knee to warm up your down dog. And then you're going to push back into stillness. Inhale, looking up at your hands and deciding you're going to hop very lightly like a little ninja. So press back and then look up on an inhale, hopping, lengthening out. I slide my hands up, and you can bring your hands from wherever they landed to your feet, sliding up, lengthening out from the crown of your head through your tailbone before hanging down. So you bend the knees, hang down. You can even go from side to side like a rag doll, shake out your head and neck, really release all tension, and then inhale. Little stretch, exhale, butt down, belly in, uncurling up one vertebrae at a time. And now you're looking at my feet, but I figured this out, so I'm just going to move you up like that. All right, we'll go to the other side. So every time we stop in mountain, we do some more stretches. All right, so we're back to mountain, feet hip distance apart. Let's inhale, stretching up through our arms. Our feet, we're also pressing through, not the arches, but the balls and the heels of the feet press down, imagining roots growing from the center of your feet to the earth. You can raise your toes and your arches are raised too. Pressing down through those other parts, energetically as well as physically. And then we're going to inhale, reaching up with our fingertips, looking up. Exhale, hands back to center. Also inhale, diaphragm down. Good. We want to engage that diaphragmatic breathing through our whole yoga practice. On this next one, we're going to inhale. That diaphragm goes down. The heart goes up. Tail down, heart up. It's a back bend. Exhaling. And we're going to do a little twist as well. So let's release our hands down. Keep your hips forward as though there's flashlights on them. Slight bend in the knees, tail down. And at the waist, you're going to be twisting. Notice my hips aren't moving. My knees are staying straight. If you have to move your hips and knees, that's okay. Just be moving your feet too, because if your knees are moving side to side and your feet aren't, that's sideways pressure on your knee and you don't want that. But from here, we're going to lengthen through our spine. Visualize lengthening longer through your tail, longer through the crown of your head, stretching out your spine vertically, and then visualize with your eyes closed lots of space between your vertebrae. Visualize them moving freely side to side, starting at the base of the spine, scanning upwards through the lower back, middle back, upper back, and neck. Okay, so hopefully you're feeling a little more fluid, and we're going to go to the warrior sequence on the other side. Now, I think what might be easier is if I turn my mat, and there's a couple ways to get down for, to get to warrior one. So a lot of times you'll see people inhale up, and then swan dive down, touch the ground. Oftentimes they inhale halfway up, exhale down, and they'll step back from that, down runner's lunge position to warrior one. And that's a good way to go. On the other side, we just stepped back. We're just in mountain. We're like, okay, now we're in warrior one, which won't usually bring your leg back as far. How far do you put your back leg? Well, it depends on what you're working on. We're looking for comfort. We're looking to find that edge where we can stretch and release that tension with our breath. And so you get to decide, do I want to just step back, or do I want to, swan dive down and then step back? Once you come up, you can always still adjust your foot. You want your toes and your knees forward in warrior one. You want your tail down. So you might have to step a little closer to have comfort in your low back. You inhale, arms up. Exhale, sinking down. Shoulders come down. Hands come to the heart. Inhaling up. We call this the Karate Kid. Exhaling, back to center. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now this next one, I'm going to inhale up and over to Warrior Two. And I'm not really going in the right direction to look at the camera. So quick switch. Inhaling up and over to Warrior Two. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sinking down. Chin in, top of the crown of the head. Turn and look over your hand in your proud warrior. Releasing neck and shoulder strain with your breath and your intention. Chin in, top of the crown of the head. You're going to reach this way now, sliding that hand down. This knee bends more open, or bends more. Inhale up. Exhale, sinking down, side stretch. Remember, last time we did put our hand behind our back. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to. You can leave it here. Side stretch. And then we're going to reach over our bent knee. So hips and torso facing sideways. Left toes in closer than the left heel. And you can decide, are you here? Now, a lot of people don't have their legs wide enough. And they'll be like this. And the hip is popped up. Check and see if that's you. You want that hip down. You want to walk that foot out to where you can be a nice long line of energy. See that nice long line? You've got energy coming in through your left foot, out through your left fingertips. Lengthen and rotate your heart and your rib cage spiraling towards the ceiling. Looking under your arm. Your drishti, your point of visual focus, is up the sky or ceiling. And you might be here. You might not be coming down as low. You might be here, and that's okay. You can put your hand behind you, and we can bring that other hand down and hold on to our ankle or a block in front of us. That's optional. That's not comfortable for you. Stay up higher. Another thing you can do is straighten the leg and just do triangle. Maybe that's more comfortable for you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Okay, we're going to come back to our runner's lunge and plank. Inhale nice and long and plank. And there's so many ways you can come down. Last time I taught you knees, chest, and chin, but you can also just chaturanga down. That's where you don't even touch the ground. You just bend your elbows, come down, and you open up. That's pretty advanced though, so most of my students are not doing that. Come down and then come up to whatever cobra feels best for you. That could be Sphinx, that one with your elbows down. It could be Seal, right? Keeping that tail tucked, stretching out through your front. Now, keep breathing. I'm just going to show you some things. Sometimes people come up for a high cobra and their shoulders are like this, and that's not what we want. So check yourself. Make sure your shoulders are back and down. Heart is open, elbows tucked in. If you need to come down lower, that's okay. It's not necessarily more advanced if you're higher up, especially if you're not doing it right. So if you're in a low cobra, but you're lifting your hands, you bring your shoulders back. And this can be more challenging than a high cobra where you're just resting, So you can decide whether you want to lengthen through your neck and include your neck in the cobra, or if you want to tuck your chin and hang your head, releasing tension in your neck. And then you'll curl your toes underneath your body and press up through plank to down dog. Again, stretching back in down dog. Second time in down dog, deep breaths. You might want to bring your hips from side to side if that feels good. Only do what feels right for you. You might want to do some down dog scissors. Some people, once they start the down dog scissors, they want to do active moving dog, getting an ab workout, and they want to do pigeon. So I tell you what, I'll demonstrate. You can do this as active moving dog, getting that, you can even round like a cat-cow and get an ab workout as you reach your knee to your nose, and then inhale, arching, So you press way back, you dip, and then you can bring your knee forward over to the side for pigeon. This feels pretty good on the leg. Oh, inhaling, king pigeon. Exhaling, draping down. Inhale, enjoying that stretch, releasing tension with your breath. There is something else you can do with this back leg. Let's see if I can move my magic carpet. All right. So you can reach back and hold that back leg. I have to be kind of gentle because my knee doesn't really like that. Some people do that and they look really beautiful and they enjoy it. So if that's you, go for it. I'm just going to press back up. I'm going to put my foot down. Sounds like something my mom would say. She's going to put her foot down. And then I'm going to lift the other one up. And we can do that active moving dog where we're getting an ab workout, bringing the knee forward and the nose towards it. And then inhale, arching, pressing back. Maybe one more time, round, stretch. And then we'll bring the knee to the side. Now you can do pigeon without bringing the knee to the side. It can be forward like this. Try to keep your hips square, which means they're in line. One's not forward or higher up than the other. I like my pigeon like this though, knee out to the side. Inhaling up, king pigeon. Exhaling down. Releasing tension. Okay. So, on this side, we can do that stretch here if you like. Just be sure that you only go into a stretch you can release with your breath. So that's pretty tight. So I've got to go exhaling, releasing that tension before I release the pose. And I'm just going to bring you around like this. So from here, this is forward fold. We're not going to do forward fold, though. We're going to bring one knee over, stretching. All right. I love my magic carpet. Pulling this knee towards you, you might feel a little stretch here. That's good. You can do a twist. If you're sitting up nice and tall, both sit bones reaching into the earth, you can sit up and lengthen as you twist. We inhale. As we exhale, the belly pulls in, we go taller through our spine, and we allow the twist because as you exhale everything out, your belly and lungs are flattened, you can have more room. We don't force twists, we just allow them. So again, inhale, bring taller, exhale, everything out and allow the twist. Other side. That feels pretty good, right? Again, you got to get both sit bones down equally so your spine's nice and long. And you can twist over if you want to. Nice and tall through the spine, inhaling. Exhale, make room and allow the twist. Again, inhale tall. Exhale, allowing the twist. Okay, feet out. Let's go ahead and bring our fingertips forward as we bring our hands behind us, opening our heart some more. You can bend one elbow at a time. Pressing up, inhale, and I'm gonna scooch back a little on my mat, but you can inhale and exhale, pressing up to inclined plane. And back down again, inhale, point the toes, exhale, pressing up. You can play with this. Can you like lift one leg at a time? Ooh, maybe, maybe not. Remember to play with your yoga. Down, hinging at the hip. We'll go ahead and reach forward if you can touch. This is not a beginner video the way I've been doing it this morning. I know a lot of my friends cannot touch their feet like this, but what if you bent your knees? Then can you touch the feet? Pull them back. Reaching the heart forward. All right. I'm going to move my magic carpet around some more. So we are ready to roll onto our back. That's pretty good. All right. Inhaling, heart up. Exhaling, tuck the chin and roll back, rocking chair. Inhaling up. Exhale, tuck the chin, rolling back. Inhale, you can challenge yourself with these. Or not. Tuck your chin, roll back. This time we're going to put our feet down. We're going to roll back slowly. Let me get rid of this hood that's in my way. Okay, rolling back. Tuck the chin, one vertebrae at a time. Stretching out. In fact, let's hug our knees. Do some knee circles. Both directions. And then some ankle circles. Can you relax and keep your feet in sync? Started doing this like a month ago and it's harder than I originally thought, but it's getting easier. Keep the ankles relaxed, in sync, going around in circles. Don't let them cramp up. Breathe gently, move gently. Then you're going to stretch way out. You stretch them. Maybe clasp the hands, flex the feet. And you can hug your knees. And this is ab work. If you just keep hugging your knees and stretching out, that's really ab work. You're gonna maybe do some side stretching. Maybe do one side and then the other side. See if one side's harder than the other. Maybe spend more time on that. Once you're nice and stretched out, we're going to pick up the hips and bring the low back down so that it's flat. Bring the feet wide so that you can keep the low back flat. Bring one knee in at a time. It's an internal hip rotation to counter the pigeon that we did. Important step. Breathing deeply, relaxing fully. To the other side. So notice how I walked this foot in. I walked the other foot out before bringing the knee down. Don't worry if you're not getting that, if that's not making sense to you. You can also just have both feet wide, both knees in together, and they just kind of rest on each other. So if it's not making sense, it's probably that you just don't have the feet quite where they need to be. That's okay. All right. So we've got our internal hip rotation, which was important because we had already rotated our hips out. We don't want to walk around like a duck after yoga practice. So we stretched out, we want to stretch in. And now we're going to reset our hips and low back with the bridge pose. So touch your heels, toes forward, feet hip distance apart. And you're going to relax your arms in a passive snow angel type of position. Inhale, curling the tail towards the nose. And then you can keep lifting your hips. And it doesn't matter how high you go. It matters, but what matters most to me is that you keep that curl. So let's practice once coming down with the curl. Tucking. See how I've still got that curl. One vertebrae at a time comes down, maintaining the curl the whole time. Not until you're all the way down do you release the curl. So you can do that every time. There's so many different ways to do this. You can inhale up just like this, and it's good. Just go up as high as you want, and that's fine. You are supposed to keep your nose to the ceiling when you've got your hips up like this, because of the tension it can put on your neck. You've got all this weight with your neck and upper back as the carrier of that weight. So if you want to look at some other options, go ahead and come down before you look, and then you can take a look. One option is to work your shoulders, like clasp your hands beneath you, work your shoulders underneath you like this. Get up a little higher that way, pressing the chest towards the chin, the hips towards the ceiling. And again, you'd come down the same way. You would tuck the chin. Curl the tails, mostly what I'm talking about. You come down one vertebrae at a time. Another way I like to do this is to get my tricep stretch. So get my hand underneath my shoulder, pressing with the other arm. That feels good. Release tension. Once you've released all the tension that created, you can go to the other side. And you breathe into that tension, embracing it, exhale, releasing it. And then with both hands under your shoulder blades, you can have like a pinky on each side of the spine. So as you do this, you might notice you're getting chiropractic adjustments. Inhaling, curl that tail towards your nose and pressing up. Exhaling down one vertebrae at a time. So another thing that does is it stretches out your triceps and your arms, your shoulders, preparing you towards bridge, full wheel. Again, most of my students do not have any interest in doing full wheel at this time. But if you do, you inhale and you keep that tail curled towards the nose, just like in the lower bridges. And down one vertebrae at a time. And if you're like, hey, I would love to do that. I would love to get that back bend in my upper spine, but I am not there with my arms. You can do fish. So for fish, you put your hands under your butt, flatten that low back, flex your feet, and straighten your legs. We got flexed feet, straight legs. Inhale, and you're pressing up so that there's no weight on your head or neck, but your heart is up. Exhale, coming down. All right, so as we prepare for Shavasana, which is the final relaxation, with your feet like this, your knees up, you can press yourself that way, which will help slide your shoulders down your back. And then we get that low back arch. So we want to pick up the hips, bring it down in our bridge. Then you can lower one leg at a time. And you're ready for Shavasana. You maybe look in one direction, look in the other. And you can focus on your breath. You can breathe into your heart center. You can send the breath down, belly breathing. So many things you can do here. You can do some tension, relaxation, maybe tensing the whole body, releasing it, maybe tensing just the top half, releasing it, and then just the bottom half. Then the whole thing. Maybe just stretching, stretch on your inhale. And then exhale, releasing, whatever it takes. I do have another video that I recorded yesterday that goes through a systematic relaxation. So when you're done with this one, you might want to just do that one. For right now, I'm just going to breathe. I'm going to relax through my top of my head, my forehead, my eyes, temples, cheeks, ears, nose, tongue, teeth. So everything from the top of my head through my neck is relaxed. Gentle face, relax and melt through the throat and the upper chest, back, and shoulders. We're going to relax and melt through our upper arms and elbows, our lower arms, wrists, and hands, all the way through to our fingertips. Then inhaling relaxation up through the arms to the tippy top of the head. Exhaling that relaxation down to our face, our neck, our chest, and back, through our torso, front, back, sides, release and relax. And belly releases and the air comes in easier, releasing the low back. And you can always do Shavasana with your legs up a wall, or just that position we learned earlier where you put your low back flat and you bring your knees together, feet out. You can relax through this position through your thighs, hips, butt. I kind of skip those. Pelvic floor relaxes, thighs, knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet, relaxing as much as you can. Whether your knees are up or your legs are flat, let the earth support you. Just relax. Clearing your mind as you clear your body. Inhaling, stretching it through. Exhale, releasing fully. You can feel like your breath is coming from the center. So as your diaphragm goes down, you inhale, you expand from the center outwards energetically. Exhaling, everything comes back to the center. Inhale, stretching. Exhale, releasing. And feel that stretch up in your mind. Exhale, releasing tension up in your heart. Keep doing anything you need to relax further, so that you can allow the breath to come in. You're not forcing it, but once everything's relaxed, it just naturally comes in. Observing the way that feels. If your mind starts to wander and think about other things, try to just try to keep it blank for as long as you can, letting it rest. You can just tell your mind, it's okay, you can relax now. I'm giving you a break. And you can even do little face massages. So if you come into one of my yoga classes, I come around and I do neck and face massages for whoever wants them. Sometimes I lead people through their own face massage. So let's do that now. We're going to take our fingers to the bridge of our nose between our eyebrows and then outwards, smoothing out the eyebrows. And come back again a little higher, maybe flat with your fingers. Start in the middle and then just spread your forehead out, helping relax that. You can come to your thumbs and let that be your whole hand, just relaxing your face and your head. You can massage your scalp, massage the back of your neck, your shoulders. Bring your hands back up and ignore me if you're enjoying something, but if you're looking for the next instruction, you can bring those hands down from your nose over your cheeks, maybe up to your temples, some gentle circles at your temples. Come behind the ears with your fingertips, doing some little circles behind the ears. And then the ears themselves, way more sensitive than we thought, right? When we just reach back there and do some tiny circles with our fingertips or gently tug, you can feel that the sinuses open up. And that's part of why we're doing this. When we press over our forehead, when we press over our cheeks, we're opening up those sinuses, cleansing things out. You can stop right here before the ears. Do some tiny circles. You can cup over your ears. See how that sounds? And again, down the neck, relaxing the shoulders. We finally do the chin. There's actually acupressure points right below the chin. See if you can find those. Massage your lymph nodes. See what you got in there. You've been fighting off some colds. So caring for yourself, that's a big part of yoga. We're going to stretch out and hug your knees. Maybe stretch out your face. Some like funny faces. Knee circles again before rolling onto your side. Maybe enjoying one more moment of relaxation on your side. Breathing deeply. Relaxing fully. Feel yourself just melt into the earth. And then you can gently bring yourself back up. Maybe you're comfortable sitting cross-legged, maybe not. Maybe bring something behind you, like my crumpled up sweater here. Lift my hips a little higher, those sit bones out. And this is where you would lift off into meditation. You've got your body all stretched out. When I sit down in meditation, I have to do this anyway, but wow, we just had a nice practice. So everything feels clear. Neck and shoulders, arms, belly, torso, low back, everything feels good. Legs feel good, and that's a much easier place to lift into meditation from than if you come in, tight. Then you have to do your yoga practice. But since we just did our yoga practice, let's inhale, diaphragm down. Exhaling, let it float up at your own pace. That diaphragm go down, and if you have trouble picturing that, just breathe into your belly. Nothing wrong with that. With the hands open, no judgment, nice gentle spine. We'll inhale, stretching our energy out with our breath. At your own pace, do that for a while. Simply observing. Letting your mind feel gentle as you inhale, stretching through any tension. Exhale, releasing tension wherever you need to. Any place that's still tight on you, anything emotional like your heart center, your mind. Just inhale, stretching through, embracing. Exhale, letting go, releasing. I'll try not to talk for 2 minutes. Just keep doing that. Okay, so for a beginner video, that's a very decent amount of time to spend in quiet meditation. Just keep your eyes closed and very slowly open them to where you're just looking at the ground. Reconnect internally. Be aware of your diaphragmatic breathing. Be aware of how it feels inside your body. Let your energy stretch out with your inhales. Exhaling, centering. Inhaling. Exhaling. And you can open your eyes more, keeping that internal awareness now and throughout the day. So you have your external awareness and you have your internal awareness functioning fully. Chin in, top of the crown of the head, grateful for that, grateful for life, grateful for you. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.